Hi guys, this is Drew Craig with Guitar Player University, and this is a beginner songwriting video. So when you're first starting out with the guitar, it's fun to kind of write some of your own stuff, but it's usually kind of difficult to get started. So this video is going to kind of show you ways and techniques you can use to get started writing songs. So the first thing you want to do is experiment with chords and formulate what we like to call in the music business a chord progression. And a chord progression is just a group of chords played together and played over and over again. And you can come up with a lot of really great sounding chord progressions using major and minor open chords, like E minor, or G, or A minor, or C. All of these chords are really good chords to start writing songs with. Now you're going to stumble across progressions that sound familiar. Of course, there's a lot of progressions that are shared from song to song. A lot of songs use progressions like that, and it's okay. You know, you can reuse progressions. The one thing about progressions that's great is nobody owns them. You cannot copyright a chord progression. Therefore, you can use any chord progression you want. So how do you start figuring out what chord progression sounds right? You just got to experiment. So go through the chords you already know, play them in different sequences. You know, let's say you know an A minor chord, a G chord, and a D chord. Try them in different order. Start with G, and then go to A minor. And if you like the sound of that, that could be part of your progression. So experiment with the chords that you know and figure out which order of them sounds the best. When you've reached that point, you have a progression, you want to figure out a form. Now a form is simply a roadmap to a song. And if you listen to any song, there's different parts. There's usually verses, which would have one progression, and then the chorus may have a different progression. Of course, that's not always the case. There are Tom Petty songs where the verse and the chorus are exact same progression. He just strums more for the chorus. So, you know, there's no real rules here, but I'm trying to show you how songs are structured. So, for example, let's say we came up with this progression, which is G to A minor to D and then back to G. Let's say that was the progression we came up with. Well, that could be the progression for the verse. So in order to write lyrics to it, we need to repeat it over and over and really listen to it and listen to the sound of it. And just keep repeating it for a while. And at that point you can start to feel what the chord progression sounds like and start to get the emotions that it conveys and put it into word form. Now that's sometimes not easy for anybody to do. So a lot of this is just kind of jumping into the water for the first time and trying it out. And if the song sucks, hey, it's your first song. Big deal, you know? You can always not play it. So you can move on and learn from your experiences. Go, you know, does it work? Does it sound right? And as far as lyrics go, always think about the rhythm of the lyrics. One syllable word could be like a quarter note. A two syllable word could be like eighth notes. Like, for example, you know, hi, how are you? Let's just take that for example. That rhythm sounds like this, bum, 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 bum. And the hi would be like a quarter note, and the how are you would be like eighth notes because they're a little faster. So you just got to think about the rhythm of the words that you say or sing, and that way, when you sing it again, it'll be the exact same. It won't be a little different. It's not like you're trying to change it every time, unless that's your style, and that's cool. But generally, we want the song to sound the same every time we play it, or similar at least. So you want to think about the rhythms of your lyrics and how they fit. The other thing you want to think about is rhyming, and having, you know, rhymes in there are always good for songs, stuff like that. The most important are the different sections. So let's talk about that a little bit more. The verse generally changes throughout, but the chorus would be repeating the same lyrics over and over again. So after you've established a chord progression for the verse, we got this one. You may want to start thinking about a new progression for the chorus. So a great way to come up with a nice fresh sounding progression is to integrate new chords. So if you have a G, an A minor, and a D, let's pick something else entirely different. Maybe an E minor, and we could try that for the beginning of a new progression. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the verse progression, and then I'm going to jump into this E minor chord, see if it sounds any good, and see if it would be appropriate for a chorus. So let's check it out. go to the chorus. Doesn't sound bad. It's kind of sad, but you know, that's kind of what I was going for, you know. So you can pick a new chord to liven up the sound. It sounds real fresh to our ears, and that's really important for a chorus because it's the repeating part of the song. So it's got to be fresh, and it's got to be catchy. So whatever the lyrics you come up with for the chorus that you're going to repeat every time you play the chorus, they got to be catchy. They call that a hook in the music business. Having that one sentence that you repeat that gets stuck in your head, that's the idea, so you can sell records and have a successful song. So now other parts of the song obviously would be an intro. That could be a stripped down version of the verse or the chorus. You know, I could be maybe, instead of playing the chords with a pick, I could finger pick them. You know, kind of lullaby-esque, but, you know, add some different flavors, so when the verse comes in with a pick, it kind of wakes you up and it reminds you that, you know, the song is changing and progressing. The last thing I want to mention to you, now this is just a brief synopsis. We're going to have a lot more songwriting videos on here, workshops, actual strategies to get you writing songs, stuff like that, because it's a very important process. But the last thing I want to talk about is ending a song and adding a bridge. Now, what's a bridge? You may have heard James Brown, "Take me to the bridge!" Or, you know, there's a lot of different songs that pay references to bridge, like Led Zeppelin tunes and a lot of them. And a bridge is simply another section that's not the chorus, it's not the verse. It's something further towards the end of the song that, again, adds freshness to it. We get accustomed to hearing the verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, and it gets very boring. So the bridge breaks the monotony of the verse, chorus, and allows us to hear new chords yet again. And a lot of times what will happen is you go to a totally different key in the bridge, or, in my opinion, just going to different chords that aren't in the verse or the chorus. So in this case, let me see if I can come up with one. We got the E minor in the chorus, we got G, A minor, D. What about C? We haven't used C. Let's try that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the verse, I'm going to go to the chorus, and then I'm going to try throwing in a bridge. So here's the chorus.